I need to step back and make a comment about the stuff part. One thing that's I've realized recently, because I am my ward emergency preparedness counselor. No, it's a specialist. There we go. And one thing I realized is, and when you go backpacking, right? You got a small group. Not everybody needs a water filter. Not everybody needs a stove. Not everybody needs certain things. So you want to pack light. So the same principle I think applies to preparedness for your family as well as your community. Not everybody needs to be an EMT. Not everybody needs to be a nurse. Not everybody needs to have all the stuff that this guy wants to have, right? For me, I have some kind of, I don't want to call it obsession. I just need to have this stuff I feel I need. And maybe it's inspiration, whatever you want to call it. I just got a dentist kit. How am I going to practice that, Paris?
Right.
I mean, it has full on extractors, because most emergency dental is going to be extraction.
You got kids, right?
Tools. I've got kids. I got neighbors.
Practice on them. Get over here, kid.
I know my wife would love to, and so she was okay with me getting the kit for that reason. But what I'm just saying is I guess we can keep it more simplistic, right? Mm-hmm. It can be more minimal in like what you're saying, Scott. Water, shelter, water, food, survival rules of 3. Focus on that. Just go there. So, shelter, water, food, and then the rest will come naturally, or someone like me or your neighbor or someone else will have those other things you need. Especially if you have a community, you can start to connect with others. Oh yeah, I've got this. I got a water pump over here. I've got a tractor or a tiller. We can till each other's those types of things. So I think we were putting maybe a little too much emphasis on getting the stuff. But yeah, like you're saying, Paris, the skills are definitely more important. And then you got to have some tools, right? You got to have some stuff. Mm-hmm. You got to, like, I know, like Scott, we were talking about expanding the 96-hour list. What do we expand that to? You got your basics, very basics, and then expand that to number 4 on my list of that survival rules of 3, which it doesn't really fit, but it's safety, right? Safety means security. Keeping yourself safe, your family safe, and that includes home security, that includes personal safety, your firearms, and so forth. So you can go much deeper, but I think at that point it gets very personal. And who am I to say, well, you need to do this, you should get this, and you should get that. I've really stepped back away from that, because I noticed I've been really heavy. You should get this gun, you should get this specific thing. This should be, because I've done all my research and I know what I like, and I just know you're gonna love it too. But I've really stepped back from that. I said that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's just my obsessions,
Yeah, that's like the eye doctor that takes his glasses off and said, "Hey, these glasses have worked great for me. You should wear them." What? No, that doesn't work for me. I had a friend. So you remember my story where I shared with you that I told God, if I make this much money, then I'll buy that and use that money to buy these kits for my family. I was all over these lists, these checklists, and I took 3 or 4 of them and I compiled all the things that I thought, were the best of each, and made one big list of my own. And I bought all this stuff, and I ended up having a friend who was ex-military. He says, I've been in countries I can't pronounce and can't tell you where, they even exist, kind of a thing. And I was like, all right. So he looked at my gear and he's like, you got way too much stuff. Like, get this. You don't need that. You don't need this. He's like throwing stuff out of my bag. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I paid money for that. And he's like, you don't need any of this. He's like, he pulled out this little fanny pack pretty much. I mean, it was a little bigger. And he says, this is what I take. I'm like, that's how, well, yeah, you're one guy. I mean, I got 5 kids and everything else. So I got to, you still do have to cater to what your individual needs are. But at the end of the day, you're right. It's not, you don't need, it's more like survival or glamping, survival with the glamorous things, So it's true.
Yeah, it's been my experience that those who really get into the survivalism of it go more and more simple. I got a good buddy, and all he carries around is a razor knife. That's pretty much it, and that's all he needs. And very minimal.
But why? Why is that all he needs though? You got to point out why.
No, and because he knows, he has so much in his head. He knows what to do with the things around him that he can find, that he can source in the wilderness. He's definitely more of a wilderness survivalist rather than an urban survivalist or anything like that. But and like your story, Paris, is, and I have another simple story that came to my mind as well. On a backpacking trip, one of the dads came along right, with us, a dad hiking trip, right? And this dad, his pack had to be 50 plus pounds. He had a mallet swinging off there. He had a Rambo knife hanging on the side of there. He brought his own huge tarp, right? He was absolutely overloaded with things he did not need that he could have improvised, right? Use a rock to pound in your tent stake. You don't need to bring a mallet, right? You don't need to bring a Rambo knife. You bring a small knife to do whatever purpose. Anyway, you don't know what you don't know. I guess that's what I'm getting to. And he
that's
felt,
true.
man, I got to have the thickest tarp and a 4-man tent just for myself. And that's a pretty ridiculous, but it is a true example, actually real example of in my experience. But
that goes to the point of using the stuff. Once you start to use the stuff you get, you realize what you really do and don't need, and you kind of start to, I may not need this as much as I thought I did.